Welcome to Stories from the Digital Learning Field.
Good morning from Glen Elementary School.
Just a note that these recordings are from the end of the last school year. Welcome SFUSD community to Stories from the Digital Learning Field. I'm Dr. E. In this episode titled Digital Portfolios in San Francisco Unified Part 1, we travel to Glen Park Elementary School and speak to teachers and students who are at the beginning of their portfolio journey. Before we get into our conversations, let's define portfolios. A portfolio is an online space where students collect artifacts of classwork, set goals, and reflect on their growth over time, and also share with the school community. Let's listen to the Glen Parker portfolio experience.
I'm Sheila Tenney. I teach third grade at Glen Park School.
How did you use portfolios this year?
Well, we use portfolios. It was their first opportunity in third grade to start using portfolios. So this year, I think, was really focusing on how to put together a portfolio and to really show off the work that they were very proud of. I think there's a lot of value in the portfolios because they're going to be able to track and progress their work as they move up through the grades. So I get really excited when I think about one of my students in high school and going back in their portfolios and seeing something they wrote or an art piece that they created in third grade, and hopefully having some really happy memories of this year.
What is the highlight of the portfolios that your students did this year?
Oh, hands down, it's our Sutro Tower paintings and sketches. We have a beautiful view of Sutro Tower outside our windows at Glen Park, and every year it's a tradition that I do with my students is I tell the kids that when you look up and you see Sutro Tower, you know that you're home. And that's how I try to make a connection with San Francisco and Glen Park's place in San Francisco, and the kids really connect to that piece every year. And I'm really excited that we were able to put up those works of art on their portfolios, and I'm just really excited that that's something that they're going to keep with them as they move on through San Francisco Unified.
Talk a little bit about, this just reminded me of the technical part of taking pictures and putting that into a digital format. How did that happen?
Well, that was interesting because we had to you were there, we had to take pictures of the artwork, and then we had to upload them and put them into the portfolios. It was challenging, and it was harder for some kids than for others, but you know what I really liked? I liked how once one kid got it, they were able to help another kid, and then another kid help another kid, and then the next thing you know, everybody had their artwork up, and I thought that was really great because it's not an easy thing for third graders to navigate. And what's nice is being able to use technology, but being able to use it in person where they can work with one another, see one another, help one another. I think there's a lot of value in that.
Now let's hear from a few of Sheila's students. All right, so what grade are you guys in?
Third grade.
Talk to me a little bit about the digital portfolio process this year that you guys went through.
I put my realistic fiction, my Sutro Tower, and my Terrific 10.
Here, I'm kind of proud of myself. I was not here for the first week of the thing, but after a while, I was able to add a lot of portfolio.
Okay, so what did you add to your portfolio?
I added some of my books and some of my art.
What do you like about sharing your work this way?
It's kind of fun because I could post stuff that I did from different years, and it's great because I get to share some of my stuff that I've did. And it's kind of bringing back memories.
Okay. From Ms. Tenney's third graders, we now pivot to a second grade teacher discussing the importance of honing tech skills with portfolios, testing, and personalizing the portfolio experience for her second graders.
My name is Cheryl DeLoppet, and I teach second grade because it is, of course, the first. It's a huge transition to third grade, knowing that they're going to do state testing.
Right.
There's a lot more demand in the following year. And I know that our movement towards tech is huge too, because now, like, you know, our new curriculum is going to be online.
Is it?
A lot assessments are online. This is the
Right.
first year that our K2 has taken reading tests online. So it's
wow.
just, I think it's these portfolios actually are not just a nice way for them to build on top of the knowledge that they probably already have coming in from home, because they
Right.
are a generation that has handled a lot more technology than we
Right.
have. And that's kind of like the overall mindset that I want to give them. I'm like, this is like a culmination of like your life as a second grader. And you'll hear some of them say like, welcome to my life as a second grader.
That's very cute. That's very cool.
You know, and give them different focuses on the not only just the academic piece, but I created a tab called Extra for them to put whatever they'd like to put on there. If that's a video they want to talk about themselves, or
that's
if they
cool.
want to put a piece of artwork that we didn't necessarily do in class, but
Right.
something they came up with at home.
That's wonderful.
So there's pieces there. It's like about me. There's ELA. There's math and science. But I really wanted to add something else so that they had the freedom to be able to put something extra.
What do you think is the difference between a portfolio and a test?
Oh, wow. Okay, so tests, I find the need to have those assessments, but they're so finite and limited, I think, in terms of, they're so specific on what they're trying to grab in terms of data or metrics from students. And they can be very rigid in that sense, right?
Right.
So all students learn in many ways.
Right.
And they show their progress and performance in many different ways that I think many assessments do not capture. Especially the process and the progress, right? So I may have a student who starts very low, but the progress that they've made is exceptional, and a test doesn't show that, right? So, but I think in a portfolio, it gives them the freedom to show that progress and be proud of it, and be the makers of what it is that they feel like they're successful in. So it's kind of putting that ownership back onto them and giving them the confidence to know that this is solely about what I've learned and what I have created, and I'm sharing that with everyone else. And look where I was, and look where I am now. And I think that also builds a lot of confidence for my students who may not feel like, okay, I can't necessarily be at this exceptional level, or because at this age they compare themselves with each other. Right. But I think it gives them the freedom to understand that they have made progress and are realizing that.
Let's listen to Charles' second graders tell about the difference between a portfolio and a test. What school are we at?
Glen Park.
All of you are in the second grade?
Yes.
Okay, that's good for that question then. What do you think is a big difference between a portfolio and a test?
It's like, so a portfolio, telling people about yourself, and tests are like, I guess that's like questions, and you get a great grade.
Say that one more time, because I think the door shut when you were saying that.
A test is like questions, and you have to answer them in just different grades, like A plus or B minus.
Okay, and how is a portfolio different again?
It's like telling people about yourself, like what you've done, all your progress in second grade. Well, that was fast.
That's beautiful. Thank you. What do you think? What's the difference between a portfolio and a test?
A portfolio is like, I'll start with the test. The test is like, you get a certain amount of time to do this or that or math and times. A portfolio, you can take your time a little bit and process it with the work you already have on that portfolio.
Nice, thank you. Now let's listen to fourth graders talk about how portfolios have helped them build resiliency and help them share their artistic and academic selves. So we're here to talk about portfolios today. And we did a little bit, we started portfolios in your class with Ms. Peinado. Talk a little bit about the process that we went through the other day.
I feel like it went well because a lot of people actually did it right away, and some of the people got stuck of it. But I feel like that's the process of learning about it.
Say a little bit more about that.
Why me?
Because it's a very good point. That's the process of learning. What do you mean by that?
Like learning how to do it. I forgot what I was gonna say.
You said it's part of the process of learning. Something like that.
It's part of the process of learning how to do something new of the class.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's always going to be some sort of a roadblock as you're learning, and you just got to get over it.
It goes differently from a lot of people.
Ándale. What do you think you like about sharing your work this way? Sharing your work in this website that you're building?
Well, I feel like it's good because I actually get so nervous doing it in person instead of showing it what I've done. It's better to let people see in the computer because I'm a nervous person.
Okay.
And yeah.
And then you could talk about it because it's all laid out. It's easier to talk about it.
Yeah, it's easier, and I feel like it's better for me.
Okay. What do you guys think is the difference between a portfolio that you're creating, so this website that you're creating that houses your work, and a test?
What test?
Any test.
Oh.
Comparing the two, right? And
I feel like the portfolio, you can actually show who you actually are with your art and all that. You can show your personality, all the stuff that you like. And with tests, I feel like you can also do that, but it depends what test it is.
Okay. So maybe you haven't done reflecting on your work, but thinking about the work that you've done this year, how does it feel looking back on some of the work that you've done this year?
It's actually, I feel I have a lot of memories of it because I usually do it a lot with Yaretsi. We both do it together. And I feel like, meanwhile, me and Yaretsi are doing it, we always have one memory to memorize.
About the work that you guys are doing.
Yeah, and it's it always has a story to it, and I really like about that when you see the work, you're like, oh, I remember this, and that's part of your memory.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Okay, chicas, ya estuvo. Say bye from Glen Park. At the end of the year, Ms. Tenney's third graders had a showcase of their portfolios and invited the community in to see the work. Here she is toward the end of the exhibition addressing the parents and students.
Hi everybody, can I get your attention for just 1 minute? I just wanted to say, I wanted to thank everybody for coming, number one. I especially want to thank our terrific 10 students for the amazing work that you've done over the course of the year.
I would like to thank Glen Park Principal Liz Czar for getting the ball rolling on portfolios at Glen Park. And thank you to all the teachers and students who spent some time with me discussing portfolios. A special thanks goes to Sheila Tenney for opening her classroom to me. I would like to invite all of you to also begin this portfolio journey with your students. The digital learning team has created resources that include slide decks and student handouts for you to use with your students. Start early and build that portfolio muscle a little at a time. Thanks for listening. This is Dr. E, signing off.